Welcome back. This is All That Matters on Time Warner Cable, Channel 13, going all around Western New York this summer in 30 days. And you'll have some stops to make this weekend. The last weekend in July, of course, means it's time for Garden Walk Buffalo, a chance to take a look at some beautiful green spaces right here in the city and talk to the gardeners who put them together. It's a great annual free event, and we're talking about it this afternoon as we go around Western New York. We are in the beautiful garden of Buffalo gardener Jim Charlier, who's going to talk a little bit more about the event. Jim, thanks for having us in.
Oh, thanks for coming.
This is a gorgeous space you have here, and is it somewhat typical of what we'll see this weekend?
Typical, yeah. I think the first time I got on the walk, I actually went on the walk first. I saw the other gardens, and I saw that my garden was probably better than half of them, so I got myself put on the walk, too.
How many gardens are there now?
There's 308 exactly this year, which is up from last year, and over 300 puts us up and over the next largest garden tour in the country.
That's great news. Something like that right here in Buffalo, the largest garden tour, that's wonderful.
Oh, it's huge for Buffalo. It's exactly the kind of thing that Buffalo should be pushing. It's the Convention and Visitors Bureau loves us.
I'll bet they do. How did this idea come to be here in Buffalo?
The founder was Marvin Lunenfeld. He and his wife visited a similar garden walk in Chicago, the Sheffield Garden Walk, which had about 100 homes on it. And they came back and they thought we should be able to do the same thing here in Buffalo. So they did it with their block club on Norwood Avenue. And first year, small gardens. I mean, it was probably 28 gardens, I think it was, and it's just grown over the years.
And part of the beauty of it, Jim, is you'll see some gardens that are big and elaborate and others that are in smaller spaces but just immaculate.
Yeah, the range is just tremendous. There's one garden, Better Homes and Gardens was here last week shooting that on Delavan Ave, and that's spectacular. It's over the top. It's almost too much garden. I can't imagine how they keep up with it. And then there's the smaller gardens that are so immaculate and so well tended, happy plants, and such postage stamp sized lots. People walk away with great ideas on how to handle their own gardens.
You hit the nail right on the head. I was going to ask you about on the tour. You know, everybody wants to improve their own green thumb, and this is a great way to pick up some extra information.
Oh, it's great. Someone said it's like getting a PhD in gardening in a weekend.
Do you learn things year to year going around seeing other people's gardens?
Oh yeah, it's tremendous. Because there's always little ideas you can steal from people, and that's what I look for.
You mentioned Better Homes and Gardens a moment ago. I know the Garden Walk has been featured in other magazines too.
This year has been tremendous. Partly due to the great gardens we have, but partly due to the Garden Walk organization reaching out to these magazines. This week we have in Cottage Living magazine is coming to shoot a bunch of gardens and interview gardeners. Better Homes and Gardens was here last week. They're coming next week again. Just up the street here, this is Lancaster Ave, just up the street they shot a garden that was in another magazine. Another one on my streets has been on the cover of 2 different magazines.
Wow, that's great publicity for Buffalo.
Oh, it's huge because, Better Homes and Gardens will reach about 40 million people when that hits the stands.
And they'll all be seeing the beauty of Buffalo in the magazine. Talk, Jim, a little bit about how big the Garden Walk is, the span in terms of where the gardens are located.
The gardens go basically from the Erie Basin Marina, where the test gardens are, the University Test Gardens, which are beautiful, and seed companies from around the country use that as a test garden for our zone to see if the plants will make it. And people can actually put flags by their favorite plants that gets sent back to the seed company as input, and those plants end up on the shelves in 1 to 2 years. And it goes all the way up to the Historical Society, where the Japanese garden is. Then the other is from Niagara Street all the way up to basically Main Street.
Wow, that's a lot of houses.
It's
a lot of places.
A lot of places. So there's a lot of room to grow the garden walk just within the confines we have.
Where can our viewers find maps to see where they're going?
There's a few places to get maps. Online at www.gardenwalkbuffalo.com. You can get a map there without garden descriptions. To get the full map with garden descriptions, you can get them at some of our select sponsor locations, and that's on our website too. Other than that, you can go to our 3 headquarters during the time of the walk. One would be Buffalo Seminary at 205 Bidwell Parkway near Soldier Circle.
Right.
The Richmond Summer Senior Center on the corner of Richmond and Summer Street, and also the Allentown Association headquarters at 14 Allen Street, which is right next to Main Street.
You've been doing this a few years. Have you seen a lot of foot traffic on the weekend?
Oh, we get, here in my yard, probably a couple thousand over the course of a weekend. But some of the more popular areas where there's a lot of density of gardens, they'll get 3,000 people a day.
Oh, that's great news. It's great for gardeners, but it's great for local business too, I would think.
It's great. Elmwood, everyone's got to eat. Everyone's got to buy their water. It's spectacular for the businesses along Elmwood.
And it's a great chance, Jim, to see not just beautiful gardens, but some exciting architecture too.
Well, we try to push the architecture, even though it's a garden tour, because it's everything from the great Victorian stick-style homes to the beautiful Civil War-era cottages over in the Cottages District on Summer Street. And modest homes, grand homes, mansions. It's a huge mix, which I think represents Buffalo pretty well.
Oh, it sure does. We've talked about the architecture, the gardens, the folks you'll run into. Is there anything we've missed? Anything else you want to highlight?
Well, there's a few new things this year. We are going to have a shuttle bus this year.
Good.
Arbordale Nurseries is paying for it. It's completely free. It's going to go basically Richmond, Elmwood area, and it's going to go between our two headquarters, the one on Bidwell and the one on Richmond Ave, and you'll be able to pick it up for free, and it's at any NFTA bus stop, and it's marked on our map. There's a route for that.
Great.
We also have in Bidwell Parkway what we're calling Garden Talk. We've got a lot of nonprofits, area nonprofits, green nonprofits, and plant societies like the Rose Society, the Daylily Society, Buffalo and Erie County Recycling Program, the Buffalo Riverkeeper. They're all going to have information booths there. You'll be able to go and possibly order a rain barrel, order a composter, ask questions about your roses. Lots of stuff there.
A great idea, and it just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Jim, thanks for talking this morning.
No problem.
Nice to talk to you. Jim Charlier, hosting us here in his beautiful garden, one of the many that you'll see this weekend. It's Garden Walk 2008. Enjoy it as you go around Western New York in 30 days. That is all around.